EAP CSF Civil Society Award to the Journalism Resource Center from Georgia in recognition of their persistent work to counter disinformation and for their contribution to free, fair, and independent media in Georgia amidst the crackdown in the context of the Foreign Agent Law. Since its inception, the Journalism Resource Center has been dedicated to supporting regional media and safeguarding independent community media in Georgia. Their team has been doing great and pioneering work to develop and sustain strong local journalism in view of countering propaganda, particularly Russian propaganda. So friends and colleagues, it is my pleasure and honor to invite to this stage Ms. Natia Kutrashvili to receive the EAP CSF Civil.
We motivate the people in Georgia in 2024 that go in election and vote. And now the authoritarian forces use this right participation against the decision of voters. They use this right participation for falsify the election. We try to put new technology in the election process. And our government uses technology against the decision of voters, against our society. Yes, we are awarded, but we are not a winner, is a reality. We are not a winner. Not yet, because if the end is bad, it's not an end. We must continue. We must continue fight, you know, when
Thank you, Nadia, very much, and congratulations. Dear friends, Nadia brought a video which shows their job, and we are very happy to show you the video now. Please.
We're once again fighting for self-preservation, striving to maintain a semblance of democracy in the country and to preserve at least the smallest remaining strongholds. This calendar features individuals who were executed 100 years ago, heroes of the country. They were also shot under the label of the agents.
She communicated the issue in a way that the population could easily understand, highlighting the problems created by this law. She drew historical parallels, which were both necessary and effective in identifying the associated threats. And on the other hand, she did give the exact name of this law and the purpose of the government, which made the government nervous.
First of all, I must emphasize that excluding online media from today's proceedings is itself a discriminatory act. These media should have been here not only because they have the right to report, but also because this law directly impacts them. The submitted documents reveal the lawmakers have failed to consult with any of the sectors affected by this legislation. Despite the fact, in a democratic state, the stakeholders have the right to participate in such discussions. This exclusion renders the current processes undemocratic, authoritarian, and consequently aligned with Russian-style governance.
Her speech was deeply emotional the first time the law was passed and the second time too. It was equally emotional but even more profound and thoughtful. It was crucial for her to speak not only on behalf of regional media but also as a representative of all independent and free media. The arguments she presented were so compelling that they would resonate with and be endorsed by everyone in the media community.
იმალავთ გვეშინო და რომ არ ყოფილი
We won't hide the fact that we were afraid the movement wouldn't gain momentum. We worried that students might still feel intimidated, fearing poor evaluations or strained relationships with their lecturers. Despite this, we decided to take the step and go on strike. The first strike took place at Tbilisi State University, and even then, we doubted the action would grow into something larger. However, everything changed after a post by our lecturer, Natia, where she expressed her solidarity with us. Her support gave us hope. It sparked a wave of action among lecturers, inspiring others to join, create a petition, and ultimately break the vicious cycle.
What are you doing here? Who are you? My students don't feel safe here. I teach here. And what about you?
Why do I have to explain?
Because of my students are not safe.
Every lecture of Prime Minister Irakli Kobakidze was held in the background of controversy. They brought the so-called Tidishkaz, who not only insulted us verbally, but also physically confronted our students. I remember there is a cafe, Kofista, near the second building of the university, where these Tidishkaz used to gather. I remember how Mrs. Natia attacked these Tidishka and actually fought with these people who were mobilized to harm the students. She kicked them out of the territory. In light of the significant challenges posed to regional media by the recent agents' law, the assistance provided by the JRC has become especially crucial. The JRC is actively engaged in media advocacy, offering us essential legal advice. They are helping us navigate the implications of this law, assess its direct impact on us, and explore ways to survive and continue our operations effectively.
Natia was everywhere where the fate of media was decided. The problems of media are not uniform, that the government came, attacked or limited advertising, etc. The problems are vast and multifaceted, involving attacks from various institutions using diverse mechanisms, regulatory measures, legal changes, or other levers of control. Yet Natia has consistently stood at the forefront, championing the media's cause in every critical moment. When Natia participates in Eastern Partnership initiatives, her role and activism are particularly significant and highly valued, especially on issues critical to the consolidation and unification of civil society. Democracy starts from the bottom up, and the democratic development of the country is driven by civil society organizations and active people. All of us, Georgians, Europeans, and people across the world must unite in resisting authoritarian, oppressive regimes. These regimes are closely allied and mutually reinforce each other's.
Civil society usually stands in the vanguard and tries to stand up to autocracy by itself. We want the European Union, and it's not just us, the young generation, Gen Z. Over 80% of the country shares this aspiration. We have fought, and continue to fight, for freedom. Never, as now, we have shown collegiality and a united attitude towards the Russian law and the fact that this country will never become Russia.
What is the language of this law? Why are you using the language of Orwell's 1984? Why do you call slavery freedom and freedom slavery?
Leave the hall. Leave the hall.